My dear child, just a moment ago, someone took their last breath. Yet, before their eyes closed for good, they made a final decision that is about to turn your life completely upside down. With their last bit of strength, they didn't call for family. Instead, they named you the next CEO. Yes, you, the one they believed had the capability to lead forward. But who was this individual? Why you? And most importantly, CEO of what? This choice, to name you CEO, is precisely what cost them their life. All the details will be unveiled in this message. So, let's get started. My dear child, it's true. Someone has just passed away. And it's also true that before they closed their eyes, they did something monumental, something significant for you. Yes, my child, they didn't call for family or friends. They simply named you the next CEO. And pay attention. Yes, CEO of something that will transform your life forever. This was the only message they had to convey before their eyes shut forever. But before you even think to ask, Lord, CEO of what? There's something crucial you need to understand first. Something truly shocking and unsettling, because I want to share this with you. Just naming you the next CEO is what ultimately cost them their life. Yes, my child. Because if that person hadn't made that decision, hadn't been so determined to name you the next CEO, they would still be alive. But why? Why would they make such a choice knowing it would cost them everything? And who exactly is this person who gave their final breath just to declare you as the chosen one? This is not an ordinary tale. It's not a coincidence. It's divine. Because you see, this one decision, this final act of naming you was destined long ago. Heaven anticipated it. Earth tried to intervene, but nothing could alter it. So stay with me for the next 8 minutes. Let me reveal everything about who they were, why they selected you, and CEO of what exactly that will change your destiny forever. Let's start, my dear. I need to share the complete truth with you, to uncover the type of CEO you have become and the reason this choice led to someone's demise. We must go back just a few days, as that is where everything began. Indeed, my dear. It didn't originate elsewhere. It started within a towering office building on the highest floor, where an urgent meeting was suddenly convened. The key members received notifications, messages, emails, their phones vibrating, all bearing the same headline: Mandatory Board Meeting, Top Floor. Gradually, one by one, the chairs in that upper room began to fill with the most influential figures of the company. But pay close attention. These were not just any individuals. They were the ones who had been ascending the corporate ladder for years, some for decades. All of them silently thinking, this is it. I've dedicated my entire life to this moment. The purpose of this meeting was significant. It was twofold: to select, decide, and choose the next CEO. Every heart was pounding. Every face was tense, excited, silent, yet internally shouting, it's going to be me. Then, the unexpected occurred. The individual who had just moments before taken their last breath was also present in that room. They rose from their seat, paused, and scanned every face in the boardroom. As you can imagine, some expressions were smug, others were anxious, all anticipating the announcement of their name as the next CEO. However, what this person said next not only altered the mood of that room but reverberated throughout the entire building. It was the very statement that cost them their life. Yes, my dear. Now, if you are prepared to learn the rest of the truth, to understand precisely what this person uttered, then grant me your final moments, and I will disclose everything. My dear, the statement that transformed the entire atmosphere of that room was not a speech, not a discussion, not a vote. It was simply a name. Yes, my dear. A single name. And not just any name, but yours. When it was uttered, it did not gently float through the air. It hit like a bolt from the blue, catching everyone in that room completely off guard. Not the man who dedicated 2 decades to that company. Not the woman boosting 3 degrees, 5 stellar recommendations, and a resume that could command attention. No, it wasn't them. It was you. The unexpected one. The one I selected. In an instant, every hopeful grin turned into a tight-lipped expression. Every pulsating heart turned to stone because those who had longed for the crown, who envisioned their name resonating in that boardroom, now felt a sense of betrayal. They didn't merely hear a name, they witnessed an upheaval, a divine intervention, a decision that obliterated all expectations and rewrote their futures in a heartbeat. And although their mouths remained shut, their expressions were composed. I noticed it. I perceived what was brewing behind their eyes. Envy, bitterness, and something more sinister. Yet, something perilous. But that was merely the start. For while silence enveloped the room, something else began to emerge. Something no one dared to articulate. But everyone sensed a plot, a scheme, a trap constructed not from ropes or wires, but from whispers, threats, and quiet assurances made in the dark. Yes, my dear, the worst was still to unfold. Because behind their silence, a snare was being crafted. And what that snare entailed will astonish you, my dear. They exited that meeting with the same smiles. But those smiles were mere facades. For beneath them, a plan was already in motion. Not a protest, not a mere challenge, but a subtle, chilling, calculated conspiracy. A scheme aimed at one goal, to ensure your name would never be uttered again. In the shadows, they murmured, if we cannot be the chosen ones, then the one who made this choice must be silenced. Because you see, the announcement was made only behind closed doors. It had yet to reach the public. The media was still in the dark. The contracts were unsigned. The ink wasn't even dry. And that's where they spotted their opportunity. They believed that if they acted swiftly, no one would be the wiser. They could erase the decision. Before the world even realizes, it was you. Thus, they committed the unimaginable. They convened in secrecy, forming their agreement. And fueled by envy, they poisoned the very one who dared to utter your name. The following day, their body crumpled. The one who had selected you was left on the brink of death. Yet, what those conspirators failed to grasp is this reality. I do not slumber, and I never forsake my intentions. For it is written, no weapon forged against you shall succeed. Isaiah 54:17. And so, in that ultimate moment when death loomed near, something transpired. Something none of them anticipated. Something that altered everything. Because just before their last breath was drawn with the final remnants of strength, they resisted the darkness. And my child, what they accomplished in that instant is something you must know. My child, even as the poison coursed through their veins, even as their sight faded and each breath became a struggle, that individual, the one who had faith in you, never lost sight of their purpose. For in that moment, they had a singular mission, one last task to ensure the world recognized that you were chosen. With shaking hands and a body that could scarcely move, they reached for the phone. But pay attention. They didn't call family. They didn't reach out to friends. They didn't even seek help. No. With death looming at their threshold, they contacted the company lawyer. And with the very last remnants of life, they persevered through the agony. They steadied their hand. And they inscribed your name. Yes, my child. They finalized the document. They imprinted heaven's choice onto earthly parchment. And in that instant, they bestowed upon you the throne that others attempted to seize. It was not merely an act of fidelity. It was their ultimate act, their final proclamation, their earthly breath, expended not for themselves, but to fulfill a divine mission. For it is written, write the vision and make it clear on tablets so that he who reads it may run with it. Habakkuk 2:2. And now you must grasp this truth. You are the chosen one. Not by human hands, not through corporate decisions, nor by personal ambition, but through my divine plan. Every whisper aimed at you has failed. Every scheme has fallen apart because of what I initiated. No poison, no conspiracy, no shadow can hinder this. And now, the responsibility is yours. The title is confirmed. Your destiny awaits. You are the CEO by divine order. My cherished child, pause right here, right now. You've been on autopilot for a long while, navigating your days like a sleepwalker in your own existence. The relentless rush, the mindless habits, the constant doing without truly being, this has turned into your prison. But pay attention. It has been challenging for you to be present and savor the goodness surrounding you. I see how you've overlooked the warmth of the sun on your skin, the laughter resonating nearby, the simple miracle of your own breath flowing in and out. Here's what I ask of you. Take a moment and breathe. Not the shallow, anxious breaths you've become used to, but deep, purposeful breaths that ground you in this very moment. Feel your feet on the earth. Notice the air filling your lungs. Now, recognize the things around you. Observe them with renewed perspective. The people who care for you, the small wonders hiding in plain sight, the chances for joy that you've been rushing past without acknowledgement. Don't attempt to bear this burden alone. Ask me for tranquility and serenity. Speak these words aloud or whisper them in your heart. I need your peace. I need your calmness. Remember this truth that surpasses all your worries and haste. I am with you in every breath, every heartbeat, every moment of uncertainty or clarity. I am present, and know this above all. I love you not for your achievements or how flawlessly you perform, but simply because you belong to me. This love is your foundation, your refuge, your home. Awaken, my child. Your life is ready for you to truly embrace it. My beloved, heed this wisdom that will change how you receive my gifts to you. Some blessings are best kept in silence. You inhabit a world that expects you to share every moment, every achievement, every answered prayer. But listen closely. You are not obligated to reveal everything that God is doing in your life. The urge to announce every miracle, every provision, every gentle mercy I grant you does not come from me. Here's the liberating truth. Some blessings are meant to remain between you and Him, shielded from external judgments, comparisons, or misunderstandings. Like a seed nestled deep in rich soil, these sacred gifts require darkness and stillness to take root and thrive. Confront this truth with bravery. Not everyone will rejoice with you. Some hearts harbor envy disguised as friendship. Some minds struggle to grasp the significance of what I am accomplishing in your life. And sometimes, sharing too early can bring more harm than help, much like exposing a newborn to harsh conditions before it is strong enough to endure. Here's what wise individuals recognize: by keeping certain matters private, you allow those blessings to develop without disruption. Away from skeptical voices, away from doubt-filled stares, away from the clamor that seeks to undermine what I have deemed extraordinary. Let me clarify, this is not about secrecy, it's about stewardship. You are the protector of sacred moments, the custodian of holy encounters, the steward of divine mysteries. Keep this in mind in our social media-driven era. Not every answered prayer is intended for public display. Not every gift is meant to be elaborated upon. Some testimonies are too valuable for public sharing, too personal for casual discussion. And remember this beautiful truth: gratitude doesn't always need to be loud. The most profound worship often occurs in hushed reverence. Sometimes, the most heartfelt thank you is the one whispered in prayer in the secret place where only you and I connect. God, what I offer you, dear one. Some treasures shine the brightest in the sanctuary of silence. My dear child, during this time of uncertainty, when your heart is burdened with questions and your mind is swirling with doubt, I need you to truly listen to these words. Just have faith in me. Not with just part of your heart, not with any strings attached, but trust me completely, with every piece of your heart, every scarred corner, every hopeful space. Surrender it all to me wholeheartedly. I understand that this is not an easy task. I see you struggling with situations that seem insurmountable. I know that at times, it can be hard to accept that love is present even in what appears to be loss, that there is purpose hidden within what feels like suffering.